American? And I said, no, sir. I actually just moved here from Canada just a couple of weeks ago. And he said this. Man.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we'll be reacting to the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you.
I heard some crazy stuff, but I want to know. I want to know.
I mean, even the things we say sometimes, they be like, why would you say that? Because this is where we live, so I mean...
I guess we say crazy stuff sometimes, but I want to know how crazy can we get? Like, what's being said for real?
Yeah. So, we're super excited to get into this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit the red subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell, because we're on the road to 50K. And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
The dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? I'm American, but I gotta take this. Also, freshman year of college, my friends and I go up to Canada to have a fun weekend, whatever. We're partying, having fun. We don't sleep at all, right? We get to the border. I'm in the backseat, slumped out. Border Patrol knocks on the window. He's asking everyone questions. He comes to me, looks at my passport. Sir, what's your nationality? I go, Luis Barbosa. He goes, no, sir, what's your nationality? I go, Haitian, Dominican, or Puerto Rican. Choose whichever one. Everyone in the car staring at me like, bro, what are you saying right now? You're about to get us arrested. I'm like, what am I saying wrong, right? Everyone's looking at me. So the Border Patrol tries to dumb it down for me. He goes, sir, where are you from? I go, New York City. He goes, okay, so what's your nationality? So now everyone's staring at me. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that?
What?
He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. He goes, yeah, you're American. Go. Yo, son, thank God we wasn't coming back from Mexico.
Ooh, yeah, you would have got
dumbest thing an American has ever said to you.
I'd like to buy this 6-pack of beer, please. Cool, I just need to see your ID. Here you go. I can't take that. You can't take my passport? It's not a valid form of ID. You gotta have American ID to buy alcohol in America. It's an American passport. It says my birthplace is Tennessee. You gotta get an American passport to come to America. Everybody knows that. You know that because you have one. That's not true at all. If you're such an American, why can't you just give me your driver's license? Because my wallet got stolen. And even if I did have that, you can take a passport.
Got my face.
Let me go ask my manager if she'll make an exception. Hi, what seems to be the problem here? Your cashier won't let me use my passport as identification to buy beer. Yeah, you gotta have an American ID to buy alcohol in America. But that's really cool, though. I've never seen a passport before. Where are you from? Here!
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
One time I was in high school, and this girl asked me what I was. I told her I'm Egyptian. My family's from Egypt. She said, no, tell me the truth. Where are you really from? I told her I'm not lying. I'm from Egypt. She said, no, you don't understand. Egypt literally doesn't exist. And I was like, no, it actually does. I go there every summer to visit my family. She's like, no, you don't get it. Egypt literally doesn't exist. The U.S. is the world. There's no other country. I said, so what are they teaching us in history then? She said, oh no, those are just stories. Egypt doesn't exist.
Oh my Lord.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I actually made a video about this a good while back, but I'd say most of you haven't seen it, so I'll just say it again here, considering this is starting to catch on as a trend. So over the summer, I posted a photo of myself at the beach on my Instagram story, just, as you do. And this American replies to the Instagram story. And this is what they said. This is genuinely a word-for-word quote. This is going to sound stupid, but I dead-ass didn't know you guys had beaches. So I'm sitting there reading this message thinking to myself, I live on an island. What do you think, surrounds it? But as silly as that message is, that's the message that started my series on TikTok on American people, which has ended up being by far my most successful series. So I have to be forever thankful for it. Also, I hope you all have a great day.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Canadian here. Right after I moved to America, I went to the Social Security office so that I could apply for a Social Security number, so that I could work in America. I went up to the little kiosk and I punched in that I was applying for my very first social security number. And the man who was working there said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're going to want to punch in that you're applying for a replacement card, not a new number." And I said, "No, sir, I don't have a social security number. I am applying for the first time." And he said, "And you're an American?" And I said, "No, sir, I actually just moved here from Canada just a couple of weeks ago." And he said this. "Ma'am, I have to say, your English is amazing." Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing in America? Elementary and middle school in Florida. During my 7th grade geography class, my teacher was doing a presentation on pollution. She showed a bar graph showing a bunch of different countries and how much they contributed to pollution. As you may expect, US and China was way at the top. But there was a piece of the graph showing how little Canada contributed. Me being a Canadian, I had a moment of pride and said, "Woohoo, Canada." To which my teacher responded, "Yeah, but that's because there aren't any cars in Canada, sweetie." And I said, "No, there are cars. My dad has one. We moved here in one. They have streets and highways and everything." And she said, "Sweetie, those are sleds." My geography teacher.
Dumbest thing an American has ever said to you.
When I was younger, I worked at a hotel as a maid, and I was one day going to clean the bathroom in my sexy maid outfit, and there was a man sitting on the ground drinking the water from the bidet. Oh, he was like a dog. He's lapping it up. And so I was like, "Sir, that is the bidet. You must not drink from that." He goes, "No, it's very refreshing. It's a fountain." I was like, "No, sir, that's the bidet. It goes." He did not believe me. He said it tasted so good.
I'm kind of curious.
He said it's so good.
So for anybody who don't know, when they have certain toilets that when you press a button, it cleans you. And that button that he was pressing, oh, I got something in my eye here. Excuse me. That button that he was pressing, something instead of my eye, y'all. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to avoid saying it.
I'm trying to avoid throwing up.
Oh.
Y'all making us look dumb.
Dumb, for real. Dumb with it. So dumb with it. Like, boy.
Woo.
Dumbest thing an American has ever said to you.
Okay, so I'm from Indiana. I'm from the Midwest. Temporarily, though, I used to live in Los Angeles before moving out to the East Coast. So one day I was in LA and I was like, okay, like I want to change banks. I no longer wanted to be with the bank I was currently with. So I go in and I went to the teller and I was like, hey, I just want to close my account if that's okay. They're like, yeah, no problem. And I go, perfect. They're like, can we see your ID? I said, yeah. Hand them my ID and they're like, I'm so sorry. Like, do you have a United States ID? That's just what we're going to need to go ahead and confirm. I said, that is my Indiana ID. This is my driver's license. I'm from Indiana. And they said, no, I'm so sorry, but this is not a United States ID. Do you have any other form of ID?
The states
like, this
look
says
different
Indiana.
on
I go,
IDs.
I know. Indiana is a state. I'm from Indiana.
She just didn't
and
know.
they said, no, I need to see a United States ID. And I was just like,
They probably told her to go to the DMV, get a new license.
I'm sorry. What is our education system?
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I'm Swiss and Luxembourgish, but I went to the States for university, more specifically Los Angeles. So I have so many of these because people, at least every 2 weeks I'd get asked if I spoke Swedish because I was from Switzerland. Classic. But then every now and then I'd say I'm from Luxembourg. Every time I said I'm from Luxembourg, it would be, so like, where in the UK is that? Where? Oh, no, it's not in the UK. But, okay, where in Germany? Sorry, my bad. Not in Germany. Somewhere else. I don't know where Luxembourg is. Which country is it? It is its own country. I know we're small, but we're important too.
dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Oh, it touched my
So
boy
I know
heart.
I'm
But you got a
American, but
little
I'm gonna
sad.
get it on this one. I was staying at a hotel on the Strip in Vegas, and I was in the little convenience store just trying to buy a Diet Coke, and a couple in front of me that were from Australia were trying to just buy a pack of cigarettes. And after about 5 attempts, I knew the lady behind the register was never going to understand them. So I offered to them, do you want me to translate for you? And they were like, we're speaking English. And I was like, yeah, I know that. You know that. She doesn't know that. So they were like, yeah, fine. And then so I translated for them. And then after they got their cigarettes, they kind of laughed and were like, thanks. And so when I was ordering my Diet Coke, she was like, that would have been so much easier if they spoke English. And I was like, yeah, they're from Australia. They were speaking English. And she goes, they don't speak English there. And I was like, don't ask. What do you think they speak there? And she goes, Australia and ease.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
First year of college, psychology class. I meet this girl called Shannon. She asks me where I'm from. I say Switzerland. She says, Sweden. She's like, it's because you're blonde, right? Okay, I'm just gonna play along. Yes, Shannon. Then you can see her trying to relate, but she was probably lying because she had no clue what she was talking about. So Shannon goes, I love Europe. I was in Germany this summer, and it was so nice to see all the history. I'm like, let's call her out. What history, Shannon? And all the concentration camps and all where the Jews died. I'm like, Shannon, the camps are in Poland. No, but what I meant to say is that I went where Hitler was born. Shannon, Hitler's Austrian. She got so mad. She goes, stop, I'm gonna jump out the window. No, you live on the ground floor. Let me take you to the flip.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Here's one of mine. I remember...
How much time? I could all day. I'm going to Florida. Oh, really? Are you driving? Are you flying? I drove and it took me 17 hours. 17 hours? How many days is that?
Nah.
I want to visit Europe. Oh, really? What countries are you visiting? Oh, you know, the basics. No, I don't know. There's no tutorial to visiting countries. Do you mean Italy, France, Spain, Portugal? Stop it. Portugal's not in Europe. It is. However, let's pull up a map. That way we know what countries you would like to visit. Okay, now looking at this map, where would you go? I would go to the Netherlands because it's next to Amsterdam. It is the capital city of the Netherlands. We are looking at a map, god damn it.
Looking at the map.
Man, this is hard, bro.
You know, a lot of those was about geography. I didn't learn geography. I didn't have a geography class that taught about, other areas other than the United States until 9th grade.
That's sad.
So, and even that, there was one of the things, the girl didn't know that Indiana was a state. So it's like, And we do have, a dropout rate that may be higher here than in other countries. So that has a play in it as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of reasons to why we don't know things.
Yeah, you're perplexed, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of reasons. It's just these videos really put you back on the, it sits you back in your seat, make you want to put your back straight and just read a book.
And make you say that you from your own country, yeah.
Just one of those kind of just...
I'm from Dion land.
Yeah, that place. What's the capital there? Sierra.
For real, because some of this was... Y'all, like, hours.
Oh, Sierra Miss.
Hours. I know what that is. Oh, my God, y'all. This one was crazy.
These conversations really go through people's minds and, like, out of their mouths and stuff, so...
Yeah, that's why it's important to not let your education stop in school. You're supposed to learn stuff every day, okay?
Right.
Stop putting your education in the hands of other people.
Yeah, sometimes you have to just pick a book up and get going.
How the Reading Rainbow
flex that
song
muscle.
go? Take a look in a book. The Reading Rainbow. I know that sounds horrible. Yeah, but guys, let's continue this conversation in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled the super thanks if you would like to support the channel that way. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.